Hello users and welcome to the Rock X block number 5 featuring Rockman X episode 6. And this is going to be an any percent speedrun, which I haven't done in a long time. So, let's see how it goes. Any percent, like I explained in Mega Man X5, is similarly to how you can complete the game without completing all the Mavericks in X5 by firing the Enigma shuttle. X6 has another more convoluted method of accessing the endgame stages. But it is, it's pretty good. So the run is 29 minutes. It could be faster. I do not have the world record for this category. And all stages is about 10 minutes slower, but it does a lot more content. And that's one of the reasons is because you don't get Hyper Dash or Saber Plus in this category. So even though you do go to the end stages really quickly, and you access them really quickly, you're going to be taking a little bit more time there just because you don't have those same abilities. So that's one other thing to keep in mind. Alrighty. So yeah, like I said, I haven't played this category in a little bit. And full disclosure, I had a shot of alcohol before starting this run, maybe 30 minutes or so ago. Not that much, but I'm going to use that as a crutch so that if I die or if I play poorly, then I can just, you know why, and I don't have to feel like it's because I have low skill or anything. Did I do that correctly? Yes. Okay. Alright. So, let's go. Yeah, so like I said, you'll see the divergence and where this is different from all stages. If you haven't seen an all stages run, I recommend checking out the run that I did on Sunday Run Day 133. I thought that run went pretty well. I had a good time. My explanations were pretty good. So if you do want... Oh, shit. If you do want, say, maybe a more cohesive, commentative experience on a more known and honestly better category, I would recommend watching that. So obviously there's not going to be any major differences in the intro stage because, I mean, it's the intro stage. Not like any routes have diverged quite yet. So I explained in the all stages run that I did for Sunday Run Day that there are alternate paths, and every level has an alternate path. And basically, each alternate path kind of has like a similar line of bosses to them, so it's like an alternative kind of boss, like list, I guess you could say. And the first one is Nightmare Zero, and when you kill Nightmare Zero, you unlock Zero. And the second one is High Max, which is the guy from the intro stage that I'm about to fight. And when you kill High Max, then you unlock the endgame stages. And then if you were to go to another alternate path and say 100%, you'd wind up doing this, you would fight Dynamo, actually, from Mega Man X5. So, but, it's been a little bit since I've done 100%, and that'll be a run that I'll probably do again, but by the end of the year, I can say, I'll probably be doing Mega Man X6 100%. Just because that category really is just fucking great. I'm gonna try to position that a little better. Also, of course, if you don't know this, I do have the Mega Man X6 wall scroll. That's been there since fucking a while. Okay. I'm not playing too well, but in my defense... See? I don't even need to complete that because you already know my defense. So we're good. And I mentioned that the cutscenes in this game do have voice acting, except they're in Japanese. Which... missed opportunity of the century. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Shield Sheldon stage. It's been a while. I had to I had to like think about it, you know, do the calculations. You know the GIF for the guys like doing this, and then there's like the numbers. That's what I was doing just there. So basically, like I said, every stage is an alternate path. In all stages, you want to go to Rainy Turtleoid because that's how you get Saber Plus and Hyper Dash. But that's not the actual fastest way to do this. The fastest is an Infinity Maginian stage. Yeah, I did that a little bad. So these things are a little bit awkward to actually slash efficiently. You can do 2 damage per swing on the way up, and then 2 damage per swing on the way down. But that requires you to kind of mash flawlessly. So, there you go. That's how it's supposed to be done. The first one's usually more difficult because you have that fucking thing in the background firing its laser beam at you. So that will, you know, damage you and fuck up your rhythm. So now we're in the alternate area. And this is not 100%, so we don't need to deal with that. Ugh, whoops. Alright, so like I said, the first time you go to an alternate area, you will fight Nightmare Zero, and then you will unlock Zero as a playable character. So the route essentially is going to be, I do this, you could theoretically, keep my emphasis on theoretically, not complete a single Maverick stage with this kind of game design. However, they kind of put a little stopgap in there, and that's because High-Max, when you fight High-Max, you need to use a boss's special weapon to inflict damage. Otherwise, you literally cannot damage this motherfucker. So not only if you could theoretically actually go through with the game without beating a Maverick, you might still want to get Guard Shell just because it is super good. But this is, you know, one of those things where if we're gonna choose one boss, we have one boss to choose. You can't see that because I have a thin. If we're gonna choose one boss, it's gonna have to be Shield Shelled, and the Guard Shell is really just, it is invaluable to the speedrun, especially in the boss rush, and especially because we don't have Saber Plus, so we're gonna be needing all the firepower, well, Saber power that we can get. So I do this for timing on the laser beams. If I play well... Oh, I already fucked it up. If you play perfectly, you can get that cycle, so you don't have to wait there. But that did not occur. I tried my best, okay? I tried my best. Personally, I didn't think that was that bad. So one thing with any percent that, in my opinion, makes it a worse speedrun, in terms of not necessarily, obviously it's a better speedrun in the fact that it's faster, but in a worse speedrun in the fact that it's less fun. And one of those reasons is because of the RNG. Now, Mega Man X6 probably has some of the most obnoxious RNG in any of the Mega Man X games. All stages kind of mitigates a lot of it, because you have Hyper Dash and you have Saber Plus, so you can maneuver in certain ways, and kind of like if you kill things faster, then you have to wait less in between cycles and so forth. But any percent, because you don't get a lot of those items, you have to deal with a lot more nonsense. And most notably, I'd like to say that that's in the Nightmare Mother fight. It is 1000% possible that I will die in the Nightmare Mother fight, just because the way that the Nightmare Mother fight works is if you get bad luck, then you will just get pummeled. And the fact that like you don't have Saber Plus, meaning you do less damage, means that you have to be there a lot longer and you have a smaller health bar. So if you get bad luck and you can't get like good shots in, you'll just basically run out the clock. So now I've got this power, and I would normally like to use Zero here, but actually Zero's Guard Shell doesn't actually affect High-Max, so you have to use X here. But it's okay, because it's Pink Mega Man, coming back from Mega Man 8. pretty good. Ugh! I fucked that one up. So the only reason that this actually even does anything on high max is because Falcon Armor has the charged ability, and without that charged ability, the guard shell would do nothing. So not only is the guard shell kind of the worst thing to use against high max, but it's kind of, you have to do a lot more. You can't just shoot the sub weapon, just because the normal sub weapon is just a little shell pop up. Ah, fuck. So so the way this works is the guard shell ability will put these clans in the corner of the screen, and you can you can shoot with the sub weapon button. However, you can't just shoot this guy. You have to stun him first with a fully charged buster shot. So that's what I'm doing here. And this guy's got multiple different patterns he can do. Nice. That one is where he goes invincible, but there's like a few frames before he actually gets the shield up where you can actually shoot him, so that's kind of hard. You typically don't want him to do that, but see, I fucked it up. So you have just enough shots to kill this guy, but if you miss one like I did, then you're just gonna... Really? That's what's called a fuck you pattern, because now he's gonna go to the middle, but he didn't need to do that. When he gets within 2 shots left, he'll go to the middle, but sometimes he'll just do 1 extra attack. So, I got fucked over there. Bad luck. But this is what I mean. High Max himself can just cost you a lot of time if he just decides to do so. And then there's other abilities as well that he can do that he didn't do here that are also kind of annoying to deal with. So now we've unlocked the endgame stages. Now Gate's like, okay, buddy, I've had enough of this shit. Just come and face me. And now we're going to be playing the rest of the game as Zero. The one thing I do like about Mega Man X6, and X5 for that matter, is that you use both X and Zero. It's not just, like, in X4, like, X4 forces you to, the way the game's designed, to use one character the whole game. But I do love how, like, it's not like Zero is obviously the way better character, but there are just areas in the game just because of the way that the game is designed on all fronts that make it so that... I was holding right too much. That make it so that it is actually useful to switch back and forth even after you've unlocked Zero. So that is cool. One of my favorite features. There we go. So again, I have no Insuis on here, so I can't get the invincibility glitch. So I use the guard shell and I just try to chop everything to bits. Jump over some things if I can. I'll grab that. Okay, so because I don't have Hyper Dash, this room is going to be a little bit more annoying, a little bit more difficult, but I still can get it in one cycle. You just have to make sure that you jump. You know, it doesn't have to be frame perfect, but it's got to be pretty damn close. So Guard Shell is actually completely ineffectual on Nightmare Mother. It does nothing, just because, like, the way the fight's designed, it just happens to do nothing. So normally I would have to go to the menu to unequip it and then re-equip it if I were to use it again, but I only use it in that one area, so I don't actually need to do the menu buffer, which is, you know, when you consider all the things going on, that is a minor convenience in the grand scheme. Just doing an audio check on OBS, but I've got the webcam blocking OBS. So of course I'm going to be entering Nightmare Mother without full health. Of course, why not? If I get lucky, I get lucky. If I start to get unlucky patterns, I'll just kill myself and restart the fight. Because, like, if I get the first phase through and say I take a hit and I do, like, no damage, there's no point in continuing. But I could get lucky and I could win. This is the biggest bottleneck of an any % speedrun, by far. Gate being probably the second biggest bottleneck, not in difficulty, but just in randomness. So because this guy's level 1, because we have less Nightmare Souls, because we've killed like less bosses, he actually does move, I guess she in this sense. The boss does actually move slower, so it is a minor convenience. Okay. So another thing to keep in mind is that the third slash of the saber combo actually deals the most damage. So I want to try to position myself to get third slashes. Like that. Whenever possible. Ugh. Fucking bitch. So far the RNG is not great, but it's not terrible. And I haven't gotten hit too many times. Okay. Ugh, you can do that without falling. I tried and I failed. Another thing is you can also have a small delay in between your sabers. Like that, for example, and I fucked that up because I'm an idiot. These lightning things are basically impossible to like actually dodge consistently, so just got hit there because why not? Shitty luck. Really, there's like the best RNG in this any percent fight is actually if you get both of them on the bottom and the eyes go up and one of them shoots fireballs. If that's the case, you can actually kill an eyeball in just one cycle. And if you're really good, if you do both on the side or like, you know, like one of these, you know, and one shoots out the side, you can get one of the eyeballs, but that's way more difficult and then also requires like the lightning bolts to just happenstance, like by happenstance, not hit you in any capacity, which will almost never happen. But I've done it. I've done it before, like once or twice. Oh, and this is just by far the worst possible situation because you can't get third slashes. Okay. At least I didn't take any damage, though. I try to look at the camera whenever I'm doing, like, a lot of talking, just because I feel like that's more interesting to watch. But it is actually kind of hard to actually do that while trying to do a speedrun. So I hope you appreciate my work. Yeah, fuck, shit, butt. God damn it. It was like, I didn't get really owned there, but it's one of those things where it's like, that just shouldn't have happened. Like, that was just a silly hit to take. Oh, Jesus Christ. Again, another silly hit to take. Another silly hit to take. Going all out here with the stupidity. Not close enough. The thing about the hitboxes for Nightmare Mother is they're actually like, you can get into the sprite a little bit. So it's not a one-to-one representation of the molecules on display. You can kind of inch in there a bit, and that's what you have to do. God damn it, really? Ugh. One of the eyeballs should be breaking soon, and I do have a good amount of health, so unless I make any sort of massive mistake or get fucked in the ass, like really hard, I should be good. There we go. Okay, you gotta be careful because sometimes you'll get caught in situations like that where you might take a hit, so you always want to try to position yourself in a way that you can dodge no matter what. I tried. Okay, I win. See what I mean? If you get fireballs, especially if the other eyeball's already broken, it's just free hits. because if you're into the hitbox a little bit, you'll be outside of the hit range of the fireballs. So you'll just be able to jump slash, and on the way up and on the way down, you can get triple slashes. You can actually get 2 if you position yourself well enough to be able to dash cancel well inside of the hitbox. But only 1 death on Nightmare Mother. I mean, for not having done this category in a while, you know, and then plus the first fight was kind of shitty and I did go in with less than full health, you know, all those variables intact, you know, not too bad. Solid B+, I'd say. Oof. That was a little questionable movement there. So this is very similar to all stages, just slower. Much, much, much slower. I didn't actually manage to do that trick in my all stages run, I'm pretty sure I fucked it up. So there's that trick. You get hit there, and then you can jump through and then land on the spikes with your iframes and then just go through the whole thing. Quick and easy. It's a little bit more difficult because you don't have hyperdash, so you have like less time because, you know, your movement is slower, so you just have to nail it a little bit. It's not, you know, the window isn't that bad, but it is just ever so slightly more difficult. So because of the boss level here, this guy only has 2 of those shields instead of 4. And because I don't have Rakukojin or Senzuizan, it's actually slightly easier to do this fight. Because if I'm holding up or if I'm holding down on accident, like, I'm not going to accidentally fuck the entire fight up by doing another move. So, not too bad. Could have been way faster. I did miss quite a few slashes there, but what are you going to do? I guess theoretically the answer to that question would be better, but what are you going to do? One thing I do love about this game are the backgrounds are just super epic. You've got like chained up jackals and demons, like really nice looking architecture. Alright, let's see if I got this. Because I don't have hyperdash, this stage is of course way slower. Surprised I actually got that one. Inch in there a little bit. Get what I can. Then I can get over here. And that allows me to get over here. And I should be able to escape. Yes. Okay. So I don't have the Yemar option here, so the little fuckers that are going to be flying into me are going to be actually a lot more annoying. If I play it well, I actually can... I might have been able to do that, I think. I actually can not get damaged, but... Oh! Are you kidding me? Okay, so here's a little thing. Platforms are not just... They're sloped. At the very edge, they're sloped. So right there was, I hit the very last pixel of the slope of the platform, and then I walked back onto the platform instead of doing the wall kicking. That's unfortunate. But I do have more health now, so slightly fortunate. I love how you have, like, fossils, by the way. Like, again, the fucking, I don't know, the graphics and the visual art style of this... I forgot I don't have hyperdash on. I got carried away. It's just the art style and visuals of this game are truly remarkable. Not talked about enough as well. I don't have anything else to say. I was supposed to be a gate by now, so... That's the bad part about doing these commentated speedruns, is that if I fuck up then, I don't know what to talk about. Alright, I should have this though. There we go. So, Gate, the chances of dying on Gate aren't really that high, but you can't get the invincibility glitch because you don't have Insui's on, so you do kind of have to keep your eyes peeled. And then also you have to keep in mind that he's a lower boss level, and thus he will take less hits, so that's definitely something to consider. I was taking a sip, so I can only do so many buttons there. So let's see how this goes. When you do this strategy, you want to start the slash at a very specific moment so that you're actually capable of getting all those things on the way down. You have a, you know, it's not like that low of a window, but it is definitely something you have to calculate. You can't just slash willy-nilly. It's definitely a skill. When the blues are out, if you let go of the wall there, you'll not be able to hit the wall again. You have to make sure that you don't get fucked up there. Because you don't get the invincibility in this run, the blues are actually some of the most dangerous. Just because they actually move you. So like, you know, if you're doing very specific and muscle memorized strategies, you know, if you get moved a little bit, you know, it'll fuck you over. The red, of course, being just as dangerous as it was before. The red slows you down, but it doesn't slow Gate down. It makes it feel like the game is lagging, except Gate is moving at normal speed. So far, this is going pretty well. I would even say that this is going really well. It's a shame that I died twice, like a stupid fuck. So now we can't get like an accurate split time here. I'm surprised that platform didn't break. I thought it was going to for a hot second there. Alright, now this fight's getting a little shit. This is the thing. So because you can't get invincibility, every time he doesn't shoot an orb out, you do have to dance with him instead of just doing nothing and then his thing ending immediately because he's standing on top of you. So it is a lot more annoying. Like a lot more annoying. I like crouching when only one of his legs is on the platform. I just think it's kind of funny. Like watching the sprite move like that is just interesting. There we go. I like when you get hit on the final frame because then I'm just stuck there in midair. It's really funny. Stuck there in midair and then also looking like I'm about to fucking die. Alright, so now we're going to be going to the boss rush, which, because I don't have Saber Plus, is definitely going to take a lot longer. And then also, of course, combined with the fact that I don't have Hyper Dash, so traversing throughout the boss rush is going to be a little bit longer as well. But of course, I think that that was obviously understood. But, I mean, if that was obviously understood, then I guess the Saber Plus thing would have also been obviously understood. I'm not sure. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know the intelligence of my viewers. You don't need the guard shell here, but because you have less health, I just use it anyway, just because it does make your buster a little bit stronger, especially with these green things that pop up. So it might help you save one bit of health, and that one bit of health goes a long way when you have a lower health bar. Also, I accidentally split there. Another thing to note is the boss rush always has the bosses at level 4, and it's not like Mega Man X5 where it depends on the difficulty. They're always level 4 no matter what. So that's one thing to note. Whereas every other boss up until this point would have a different level based on the fact that I haven't done the entire game. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Another thing that I've mentioned before is that the bosses will actually get new attacks when they're at level 4, and then they also have an extreme difficulty only attack. So that's also something pretty neat. So the reason I equip Guard Shell, it's not required, but it does get a little bit more damage, and the window there is a lot tighter. You might not know this, because in all stages you kill him so fast because of Saber Plus, but if you actually take too long doing that strategy, he'll go into his Turtle Shell mode, and then just roll around, and he's invincible there, so you don't want to deal with that. So I just do the Guard Shell, not necessarily for speed, because the pause does make it a little bit longer, but mostly just as insurance. This is a little bit harder to time, just because I don't have the Ensuizan to make it easier. So, getting the quick kill is a little bit more annoying. Oh well, maybe next time. Just kidding, I'm never playing this category again. I'm just kidding, I'm totally gonna play this category again. Alright, so I'm definitely going to want to get health here. I keep doing the double weapon switch because I'm used to having to go through 2 weapons because of having all the weapons. But I only have 1 weapon, so don't need to do that. When this guy goes up, it takes way longer. Again, I have a weaker sword, so... Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, he can either stay down or he can go up. And if you haven't watched the All Stages run I did a few weeks ago, I highly recommend watching that for a lot more information. I'll probably make it like a card in the YouTube thing. So like in, you know, the little eye at the top this way. It'll be in the top, like, yeah, over, you know, you'll see it. You can click that and then, you know, because that's definitely going to be the more informative of the run commentaries for the full game. Metal Shark player, a little bit more annoying because you can't just kill him really quickly, so you got to deal with that. Blazed Heatniks, getting the Nova kill is definitely something you want to look out for, but I don't have the Sensuizan, so the fight is going to be a little different. There are multiple ways you can actually go about this fight. You can try to do third slashes, or you can just go for the Buster. So you can kind of bait him. Alright, and when you're on the ground, getting third slashes is easy. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think so. Definitely one of the more annoying fights in any percent. And if you get the Nova, like, if you don't get the Nova kill, but he does the fucking thing, that's like just 10 seconds that are just eaten up for no reason. Alright, 1 fight to go. Blizzard Wolfang. And I do not have the Shoenzan, which is his weakness, so if he does want to go on the floor, he's gonna, or on the ceiling rather, he's gonna go on the ceiling, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully that's not the case. Ah! It is the case. When he scrunches up, that's when you know what's gonna happen. Jesus Christ. Shit's just obnoxious. He could have just stayed on the ground like a good doggy, but he decided to be a bad, bad doggy. Bad doggy! Don't need the health, don't have sub-tanks, and my health gets refilled on the load screen. God, I love these fucking statues, whatever they're called. They're really cool. I said this before in the all stages run I did a few weeks ago, but the Z-Buster does max damage. It actually does infinite damage at close range, and those guys have no iframes, so if you're just right in front of them, you just, you know, blow his fucking head off and then run on through, and it's way better than taking damage because you don't have, what is it? Shock absorber or whatever that, like, makes it so your knockback is not in effect, and so, you know, it's way better than that. So I don't have Saber Plus, so I'm definitely going to want to do the Z-Buster method on the first fight. Alright, perfect RNG. I mean, I guess perfect RNG would be he does nothing, but either way, I mean, it's fundamentally the same. You know, I didn't actually get hit there, so as long as I didn't get hit, and as long as I'm doing damage every, like, time he runs out of iframes, I would say it's a perfect fight. So I'm going to say I'm not going to watch the full credits. I really don't feel like it. So I'm going to give you my final touches here. I don't have Insui's on, so again, I cannot become invincible here. So it is a little bit more strategic. Though I can still do an absurd amount of damage. And that's the game. So that's Mega Man X6. Mega Man X7. Whew. That's coming up next. I've made the executive decision that I'm actually going to do not all cutscenes. Maybe I will do all cutscenes. No, because I was at least going to let all the dialogue play out. But maybe I will do all cutscenes. Honestly, I don't... If I'm being completely honest, I don't know if I've ever done all cutscenes in X7. I've done all, like, you know, like, boss dialogue, but I don't know if I've ever done the after-boss cutscenes. Either way, if it takes place over the course of 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, Mega Man X7 will be interesting. And then Mega Man X8. We'll talk about X8 later. I don't want to bog this shit down with X8. I fucking hate that game. But yeah, again, if you want to see all stages, which in my opinion is the superior category, it's just that I did do it relatively recently, so I wanted to switch it up a bit. So if you do want to see that run, which again, it is superior, I would highly recommend to check that out. And, you know, if not, I'll see you tomorrow for Mega Man X7.